what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it. Got an injury report for the LSU-Arkansas game. No big surprises here, except Arkansas has been remarkably healthy this year.
Yeah, they have.
They have 2 players on the injury report, and only one of them is out, Jalen Braxton, and then Rodney Hill's doubtful. Whereas LSU, Harold Perkins, I'll name the obvious ones first. Harold Perkins, John Emery, Jacoby Guillory, then Kyle Parker out, Prince Marlborough out, Jake Ibieta out, Tyree Adams out, which has been interesting given that he was kind of the 6th man up.
Yeah, I saw him limping last week into the locker room. I would assume maybe extra point field goal situation. Maybe
I don't know, actually. I missed that. I didn't see him.
I happened to be looking up as I was looking for Gordy. He was getting BK for the halftime interview, and I was trying to find Gordy, and I saw him limping, a noticeable limp going into the locker room. Where did he get hurt?
So that's something to keep an eye on. Chris Hilton still being listed as questionable, which I guess at this point makes sense, right? The team has said that they believe he's good to go. It's a matter of whether or not he believes he's good to go, and they can't say probable or not if it's, if they feel like it's probably whatever. The point is they feel like it's probably improbable having happened. So he's listed as questionable. CJ Daniels listed as probable.
That's good. That's big.
That's very big. It also makes a lot of sense. CJ Daniels in that locker room is viewed as one of the tougher guys there.
Yeah.
A leader. A guy who it's not just about his offensive production, it's about his effort blocking downfield. This LSU receiving core is very much proving to have as much depth as we thought. Another stellar year for Cortez Hankton. And you can say, maybe there's not it's not. 19 and last year are just so overwhelmingly unreal when you look at what those guys are doing.
You have receivers from that team that are 4 top 10 receivers in the NFL right now.
Yeah. But you look right now and your receivers are still great. Kyron Lacey definitely proving to be a 1 and can be dominant when he needs to be. You saw that last game. Aaron Anderson has been maybe the biggest unexpected bright spot and one of the most fun players to watch consistently throughout the entire season. Xavier Thomas, you get a little excited every single time he touches the ball. Almost had a hell of a touchdown last week.
And then CJ fights Daniels, like hell without the ball, too.
Yeah. And so does CJ Daniels.
You got a new receiver, Trey'Dez Green.
Hell yeah. And then Trey'Dez Green. That's right.
Making the move. And also, now that you have him, T, and you can speak on this, understanding.
So that's official. They're moving him 2 wide receiver?
I thought
it was a sub-package deal.
I think that's kind of the vibe that I got. Now, I'm sure that there's going to be some things that he can do in the run game. That's what I was about to, get across here is, he knows all that stuff. But also, you talk about having somebody, let's say they put him in the slot as an F. And look, if you're a Y, you got to be an F now. And so, an F is going to be what your Travis Kelce is in the NFL. Travis Kelce's not a Y. He's never going to put 3 fingers in the ground and scare you. That's why they got Gray and they got, other players there in Kansas City. But so if you're an F and you're running, stretch lead his way, that's an advantage for you.
Yeah.
He's played tight end. He knows how to block in space. And so they're going to be able to use that as well. It's not just what he can do for you as far as a receiver. This is a group that will get after you on the edges in the run game. And maybe it opens up some more stuff on the outside because they've been trying to hit the interior, your powers, your counters, A-gap, B-gap, some inside zone runs. I don't know. Maybe it can open up some outside zone, maybe some stretch lead, just some tosses, just something different to get the run game going.
They were doing that toss early on that was working pretty well, where it's almost like they were overloaded, and they were tossing. You can build a lot of stuff off that in terms of bringing back maybe a drag the other way or a little screen the other way. Maybe they get back to some of that. I'm not sure, but the overall point is the receivers still have so much depth. They've suffered multiple injuries, and yet the group still is really good. Top to bottom. And if you want to talk about the greatest advantage that LSU has on the field on Saturday, it is unequivocally a big unequivocal day. It is unequivocally that LSU passing attack against an Arkansas secondary that is really bad. Really, really bad. And, like, other teams haven't been able to take advantage of it because, well, quite frankly, Iamaleava in Tennessee right now just they can't throw the ball. They're confused. He's confused. He was snapping off throws, making decisions, throwing with anticipation earlier in the year. Now he's kind of panicking, holding on to the ball. He's throwing a couple picks. He's waiting for guys to come wide open. He looks like a young player. Yeah,
coordinators got tape on him, and Arkansas was really one of the ones that put in a new defense and a new front and new schemes, to try to confuse a young quarterback, and they certainly did that.
And that Arkansas defense did very well against A&M, but who was A&M playing? Marcel Reed. And I liked Marcel Reed long-term a lot, right? Because the situations he was thrown in, he would make enough plays and he wouldn't make mistakes. But, I mean, he can't do what you saw Connor Wigman do against Mizzou, where, like, that was almost not a throw-first offense, but it was almost like one for A&M. So, like, that was not an offense particularly well-suited to taking advantage of Arkansas either. Then, I mean, you look at Oklahoma State. They're not thought of as a throwing team, though this year they kind of have been. Still don't know what the hell happened to Ollie Gordon. But they dominate Arkansas the year. So, Arkansas, that is one of the truths of this game. Arkansas has not seen a receiving staff or quarterback or really just an offense anywhere close to what they're going to see this weekend. Whereas LSU's defense, I mean, they just got past Ole Miss in that offense. They played USC. That's pretty damn good offense as well. Now, I am worried about, look, if Arkansas is running the ball well, that's going to make everything work for Arkansas. And Taylen Green is truly a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where at times he can look like one of the best players in college football, and at times he can look god-awful. I mean, against UAB, he completed 40% of his passes and had a pick in like 150 or something. But then against Oklahoma State, he accounted for like 500 yards of total offense.
So last week, I thought that the biggest thing you had to stop was Ole Miss's run game because they set up everything based off the run, and you did that for a large majority of it.
You did great.
I mean, even with some of the long runs, like you still, per average, did much better against that Ole Miss rushing attack than most people do. So you did a good job, and that's what you had to take away. Like, what would you say you have to take away from this Arkansas team? When you look at Jackson coming over as a transfer, he's got 566 yards. Obviously, we know Green is a dual threat guy. Like, through the air, it's been a lot of hit or miss. I mean, he's 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's averaging 7.9 yards per throw, only completing 56% of his passes right now. So would you trust young defensive backs? Because we know LSU loves what? Cover one.
Yeah.
They love single high safety. So that's a good defense if you want to be aggressive and you want to put some numbers inside the box there. Is that what you think they're going to live in?
Absolutely, dude. First off, I'm most worried about Jaquindon Jackson. I mean, his stats are great. 10 rushing touchdowns, like you said, 500 yards. Like, he's the most consistent part of that offense. And if you're telling me Taylen Green can struggle with a bit of decision-making, and then I look at the coverage that LSU's played one-on-one this year, where they've lost some battles, but they've been there for the most part. And now you got Zy Alexander, who isn't losing those battles. And it's like, let's speed Taylen Green up.
Yeah.
Like, let's get in his face, make him make quicker decisions, and make him throw into tight windows. Because when he's done that this year, he has turned it over. Yeah, that is absolutely the key for me. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.